thanks for coming to the A session on how you can Alteryx yourself, your team, and your career. So the topic today that we're going to discuss is how do you go from what is data to citizen data scientist. Before we get started, just kindly remember to fill out the questionnaire on the way out on how you found the session. So, quick round of introductions. My name is Adrian Loong, and I've been a practice manager for data science and artificial intelligence. I've been an Alteryx user since 2014, and with Alteryx, you can really do anything and solve any business problem.
I'm Treyson. I'm a manager of consulting services. I really enjoy using Alteryx. I've been using it for about 4 years now, and I'm sure you've heard it already this week, but when I use Alteryx, I feel like a wizard.
And I'm Heather Harris. I'm the Data and Analytics Practice Lead for Tech and Government Services. Prior to that, I was in the private space and deployed Alteryx and other analytics solutions across Fortune 500 size organizations. And when I use Alteryx, you can see from my pictures, I love the outdoors. I feel like a backpacker with that ginormous Swiss Army knife that has like every tool in the world in it. And as I just shared with Alteryx, I can elevate analytics across entire organizations.
Great. So there are a couple of different roles typically you see in organizations, starting from that of the data novice. So a data novice is somebody who's actually like a domain expert, does day-to-day operational roles, but it's really new to analytics, and you'll often see a lot of these people just use a lot of Excel really. Just a quick show of hands, how many in the room are sort of new to the analytics game here? Okay, so about 20% roughly.
What about anybody who feels like they're a rock star data scientist? Well, maybe data scientists are dabbling in data science.
A few less, okay, cool. And then everybody else will be
kind of somewhere on the spectrum and continuum, sure. What about leaders? People who have teams or manage people or lead analytics?
Right.
Oh, excellent, great.
Cool. So I guess just want to quickly talk through the different roles. Things like a data analyst, you probably see them in your organization. They would be people like finance analysts or marketing analysts, people that actually turn the handle and try and crank out your KPIs or your monthly dashboards for management to consume. In terms of, do you want to cover a little bit on the citizen data scientist?
Sure, yeah. So I have a pretty similar experience. So I came background on me, I came into Alteryx not really understanding. I was an Excel power user, and I kind of understood SQL. And when I came into Alteryx, I was definitely on this data novice side. But as I kind of used Alteryx to start automating these processes, lots of questions came up. Like, I was the typical select star from, and then join, and then we only keep what we keep. And then I was like, well, why do I bring all this data through when I don't really need all this data? So then I got a little bit better at SQL, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm hitting server 3 times. How do I get from 3 times to 1 time? And so what I had found was that as I was learning to use Alteryx, and as I was going through my own journey, that I was beginning to see how the flow of data works with Alteryx rather than like a tabular way of thinking through data. And through Alteryx, started like getting better at SQL, pushing my skill set back into that so that we can make SQL and Alteryx better together. And through that, I went from like a data novice to like data analyst. Like, okay, now I'm starting to solve quick problems. And now that I'm kind of in the citizen data scientist from a different role, and that I'm not doing predictive or anything like that, but we're doing a lot of like, how do we manage a warehouse, and how do we deal with processing new records and making sure that we're being as fast as we possibly can on all of our push throughs and things like that.
So I guess we want to sort of take the time to listen to you guys and really bring you on that journey, how you can evolve your skills in your teams from the data novice all the way to citizen data scientist. So I'll just cover off the data novice part. There are lots of people in most organizations that have operational roles. If you can somehow upskill them, learn a little bit of SQL, move them away from the Excel world, Alteryx is a great platform that enables people to actually scale up that way. And in that, by doing that, you actually are keeping your cost structure pretty lean across the organization.
Yeah, I came into this journey, actually I have a more traditional data science background, training, master's in data science level work. And so when I came into this, it was a leadership role to deploy Alteryx across a very large West Coast airline and in all lines of business. And what I saw immediately was this opportunity to take the traditional data scientist role who might code in R and Python, but who was willing to use a tool like Alteryx that's code-free and code-friendly to start building predictive analytics type of things, but then share them with their team of analysts, maybe some who have a little bit more advanced skills. And by doing this, those reporting or data analysts started growing their skills from the traditional data scientist and what I call practicing data science as a team sport. And by doing that, by using Alteryx as sort of the common collaboration platform, the whole team kind of gets brought up. Your data scientist develops leadership and mentoring type skills, and your other analysts come along and can move more into the predictive space. And that's what we mean by that whole citizen data scientist role.
Great. Yeah, in terms of citizen data science, I guess from a leadership position, you might ask, why would you do this? Well, simply put, you can't actually keep hiring lots and lots of data scientists because it's cost prohibitive, right? So by leveraging tools like Alteryx, you can actually free your data scientists up to do really data science work. And nearly 70 to 80% of the capability is really around talking to your business and really preparing out the features. So you want to use your expensive capability to do high value added things. And from a learning perspective and a cost structure perspective, you're actually allowing the rest of your data analysts to actually upskill. So it doesn't mean that if you're not a PhD statistician, you can't do time series forecasting or predictive modeling. I don't have a PhD in stats, but I'm doing some of it. So the tool and the courses around the tool enable your organization to actually get the full benefit of having data science teams without having that huge cost structure in place. I think that's the key takeaway. Cool. So I guess with this, I'd just like to quickly cover off, Alteryx is really an end-to-end data science platform, going from simple to complex analytics. It's actually a continuum. There are no breaks in the middle. Do you want to talk a little bit about data blending in terms of how we can use it somewhere?
Yeah. So things that we, early on in my career, even today still, we find the value in Alteryx. I'll probably be a dead horse, but you probably all heard that, like, okay, it's so cool because it can connect to multiple data sources. And we were connecting to difficult things like AS400, which, does anybody know what AS400 is in here? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Alteryx,
This is the AS400.
Yeah. And so our organization had switched from being 100% AS400 organization, and then we had like 25%. We moved part of our operations over to SQL Server, and as soon as that happened, we had kind of lost a lot of the internal insights into what was happening in our business. So when Alteryx came in, we really quickly found that we were able to blend and kind of bring in the kind of those missing pieces were filled with a tool like Alteryx.
How did that affect people's careers at your organization?
Yeah, so that, I'll just throw numbers out there. When I first started with that job, I was making about like $50,000 a year. And when I got into Alteryx and I got good at things that I never thought I would be good at, like using APIs. If you would have 4 years ago said, hey, you're going to be doing APIs, you're going to be doing advanced SQL like DBA stuff, and you're going to be supporting entire warehouses and stuff, I would have told them they're crazy because I didn't know what that path looked like then. And even with just like an Excel skill or even just SQL skill, it wasn't going to happen. But now I'm doing a little better than that, and there was no path there without a tool like Alteryx for us. So what we were able to do was we were able to bring in folks who were very passionate about their jobs, but they kind of were stuck in Excel. A lot of times people like in my leadership were trying to pressure me to get other SQL users or other data science people into the tool, but I found that there was a lot of abrasion to that. Like they didn't want to lose their unique ability to do things that other people couldn't do, or they didn't want to use a kid's tool like Alteryx. And so we did. We took these very smart, very capable Excel users and really we were able to provide a path into leadership. And now that was 4 years ago, all those people either make more than I do now or are in leadership roles at that same organization. But what's really important about that, what I think is a good transition to this, is that we were able to create like how do I say this? What's the word for like a culture.
It's been a long day for us.
Yeah, so we were able to create a culture around analytics that fostered learning and growth and building on each other's skill set, which as we talk through this is really the most important part. There are a lot of single contributors out there who are able to learn and grow on their own, but you get the most value when you can find a lot of people who are interested in learning together or are interested in helping teach if they're more advanced user. Never mind.
I'll tack on to that, Treyson.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great. One of the things we saw when I was deploying this across a Fortune 500 company is that the opportunities for learning on a platform like Alteryx, you can have people who come into it, they might be like, say, a financial analyst, but with no data background, but they can start learning about data and start doing really amazing things for their domain. And then, like I already mentioned, you have the data scientists who, if you can convince them to not always code in R and Python and work on a platform like this for the collaborative features, what happens is there gets to be this, kind of like this continuum shows up on the slide, this continuum of skills and a very clear path for migration. And this is really great for the leaders in the room as well. What we did was we ended up having to restructure our entire analytics career path, from reporting analyst to BI analyst and different levels of reporting analyst, different levels of BI analyst, all the way up to data scientist. And we needed to give a career path so that people could grow those skills and even get into a data scientist position through this hands-on experience, through these almost apprenticeships with proper data scientists, if you will. And so we redid the entire career pathing for the organization based on what this platform opened up for us. And then the other thing that Treyson mentioned was that our data scientists who were taking on these leadership mentorship roles grew in their leadership skills. And then what happened is as they graduated into management and even directorship positions, it increased the data literacy across our whole organization. And now you have people in leadership positions who are very data savvy and know how to use data to make business decisions. You want to add on to that, Adrian?
I think it's an excellent point, because I think a lot of people like data scientists, they go, oh, this tool is too easy, just drag and drop. Why would I use it if I'm a PhD statistician? The answer is really simple. A model by itself does nothing. It's only when you embed it into the business and you actually get business benefit of it, then it's worth something to the organization. If you have models that are not deployed, you've just wasted an expensive resource, essentially. So think about, as leaders in the room, really drilling that into your data science teams, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all judged based on some financial metrics, HR metrics. And if we're building models because of, we can, and we don't deploy it, it's not worth anything to the organization. So I guess that's on the complex side. Something in the middle, which I think a lot of organizations should also focus on, is the citizen data scientists, right? Their capabilities could actually help organizations look at things like how much does it actually cost to serve a customer? Have you actually segmented your customer base? You don't need to be a PhD statistician to work it out. You can actually use tools like Alteryx to do that. And in actual real-life deployments, I've done that for my organization, large financial services organization. They were about to make decisions worth hundreds of millions of dollars on distribution footprint. And I went to the leadership team and said, hang on guys, before you make a decision, let me have a quick look. And so build something out that they could base their decisions on rather than their hunches. So I think it's really important.
You know, Adrian, you talk all over the world about the citizen data scientist role. Do you want to describe for people what that really kind of means?
Yeah, I think the citizen data scientist is really someone who's trusted by their organization, someone who's very creative and actually, listens in on leadership and goes, hang on, there might be a better way to do this. Let's have a look before you start making big decisions. And it's not necessary that you have to be the most skilled PhD. Of course, a data scientist can easily do that role. But essentially, you need people who are commercial in nature, or even data scientists that are commercial in nature going, hang on a minute, I think we can do better in this space. And not get just caught up in the sexiness of the deep learning model, the SVM or neural net. But being able to articulate that and break it down for leadership to actually understand what the models are representing, what they actually do, and what they can't do. Things like AI can't do everything. You need to really understand the assumptions that go into the model before you make any decisions. I think that's essentially what.
Yeah. And I think, was it you, Treyson? We were having a conversation this week about how valuable somebody who's a data SME is, just being in the line of business, and how much more valuable that can be than just the pure data science skills.
Yeah, having someone close to the data, having someone close to what's happening is invaluable, really, because I can sit and look at things all day long until someone, we can drive insights eventually, but unless someone's there, it's like, these are our pain points and they can kind of push us in the right direction, help validate and things like that. If that person doesn't exist, the whole process of building becomes a lot more difficult and implementing this. Because it helps take the discovery out of it. And back to what I said, if you can put Alteryx in the hands of someone who's an SME, then that kind of takes a lot of that burden off your team if you have this expensive citizen data science team or data science team. And it takes that burden off of them and you push it back in. And then your role changes from instead of you are developing out these tools, you are then just checking their work and you're helping them through processes, and then you're like at the end you have to do all your testing and all that stuff. So it helps your whole SDLC life cycle as well, because then you're not so much in the dev, you're more in the test in the production.
And just yesterday, I was having a conversation with a couple of former colleagues of mine that are in the audience. I see them. I won't call them out, but they didn't come from a traditional data background, and now they are heavy getting into Alteryx. But what they do work with analysts who are responsible for their subject area. They're like the analyst assigned to their group, but because they've become data savvy and they're getting into Alteryx, they have actually found mistakes by the analysts because they're the subject matter experts and they know what that data, the story that data is supposed to tell. And so it's been very powerful for them to get Alteryx in their hand and look at the data for themselves and put a little egg on the face of some of the experts. And they know exactly who I'm talking about. Anyway.
So switching tags. We'll like to cover off some of the processes and people technology, the Trifacta associated with analytics.
You want me to take that one? Well, I can put a shameless plug in for my book. So I really am passionate about to really grow the citizen data science competency in an organization. You have to really take a holistic approach that addresses the people, the processes around them, and the technology. And Alteryx is that kind of technology, but you want to have a strategy and a vision and some tactics in place that allow you to really maximize your investment and really build your people up. And in my book, Citizen Gain, which you can find on Amazon, I do talk about the strategy and how you actually put that strategy into play. But it is really important for your IT people or technology people to create a frictionless path for the technology so that your data practitioners can actually maximize the value.
I can just keep listening to you talk if you want to keep going.
No, that's okay.